Hello, trading has closed on November 21st, 2018. I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm going to also say I give thanks for the people who've written me thank yous on my video page, on my blog. I might not acknowledge them every time, but I do appreciate it. We're all on the same team. We're all trying to make money. Let me go over the calls and then make the prediction for Friday. Let me just start out by saying Friday's a half session, and I'm going to analyze it as if it were a full session. Sometimes nothing happens on these half sessions. We just piddle around, do not do anything, and then the market makes its move when it reopens on Monday. So if we get a nothing session on Friday, just shift everything over by a day. Okay, well, let's go over our calls. We said the commonest thing was to gap and promptly move outside the day's range. We gapped up, we moved outside over this high. As far as prompt, I never really defined it. It would have been clearer if we didn't have this consolidation. So it's possibly fulfilling the signals. We'll call it a muddled confirmation. During the day, MEJT says this whole drop is a false move, gives us a target of 26.6819. That's my call. But if we gap down smartly, it's kill before the open. Standard rule. Well, this was kind of a interesting day. This was the negative pattern we showed yesterday. It's a valid break. It just needs confirmation. Confirmation is to trade under yesterday's close by 1 cent. That never happened. So this break isn't confirmed yet. It'll be rejected if we promptly break over this line. And that hasn't happened yet either. This was a point where I felt I had everything I need for a low. Here's your retest. We had this big sell-off that MEJT says is not for keeps. And despite selling off, we closed over the initial low of the drop, and we closed over the high prior to today's gap up. So for now, at least, it's a successful test. We also have a wall of selling into the close. Would be clearer without this consolidation. But if you look at different time frames, it's a wall. And when you get a wall of selling that MEJT says won't stand, you assume it's selling by the amateurs, and that'll be reversed Monday, ideally by gapping over this high. And because we had a gap up, higher highs, couldn't hold on to any of the highs, couldn't even hold on to this low, which is a very negative pattern, would be ideal if we're going to gap up, if we gapped up over this high. Now that seems kind of out of reach, but let's look at some other stuff. Here was the end of wave 5. Here's your AB. If this is wave C, here's blue A, and blue C is right at the 78.6. And if this in wave C is an ABC, if that's A, C is right at the 78.6. So we have great fib support right here for completing the ABC, which would mean we'd have another ABC up, which could be substantial if that holds. Now here's futures trading. You can see on this low we had massive volume, over 4 million shares. Here over 3.5 million shares. Here the volume is much less. When you get over 3 million shares, usually it means there's a bottom right in that area in this formation. Let's go back and see how uncommon that is. Right at this low, we broke that level. We're not breaking it any of these times until we come to the election of President Trump. We broke it there. I mean, look how these spikes correlate with these lows. We're going back years. It just doesn't happen all that often. Here's a spike right at that low. So we have the volume pattern. We have the fib pattern. We have the retest. We have all we need, plus this target. All we need to do when we reopen, and I'd like it to be Friday, but it might be delayed until Monday, is to gap up at least over this high, which should lead to an all-day rally, and preferably over this one. If we gap up and lead to an island reversal here, then the first ABC down is completed. As usual, if I'm wrong, it'll be obvious before the open. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We're not risking money until we see where this is going to open, and that's today's call.